Leaving a ministry position should be hard, and if it isn't, you're doing it wrong. Okay? What do I mean? What do I mean by this? If you're doing ministry right, you have so deeply impacted people's lives. You've so deeply impacted the congregation that you've been a part of, that you have rooted in, and you've developed relationships that are going to be hard to step away from. And that's a good thing. That means that there's been impact. That means that you have really rooted in and done the hard work of getting to know people and to pour into people. So it needs to be hard. If it isn't, we're probably doing something wrong, or there's some bigger issues that are going on in that church. Okay. So that's the good side of this. The bad side of this is sometimes, because it is hard to step away from a ministry position, we can take too long to do it, or we can put it off, or we can say, it's too hard for me to leave all these relationships. I'm just going to stay here where I have doubts about whether I'm supposed to be here, long-term or not. Okay.
Now, the other thing I would add to this is that, depending on your personality type, everybody approaches this question a little bit longer. So maybe you're the kind of person, a guy or a gal, that's always looking for the next shiny new thing. You might be one of those types that want to jump to something new every year and a half, even if you shouldn't, right? And then there might be others among us that are just incredibly faithful and incredibly loyal. And sometimes if you're an incredibly loyal person, and you hear God's call that it might be time to go somewhere else, you'll keep putting that off because you don't want to let people down. So there's a lot of different things, including your personality and maybe even the way that God has wired you, that's going to help you to know when it's time. We're going to talk about that a little bit, but I totally agree with your main point here, Matt, is that whether you're on cloud 9 in your current ministry position and God's calling you to leave someplace else, or whether it's just a horrible situation, it should be a hard position for you to leave. And leaving is never easy.